Hi and welcome to today's Mishna Brura. Today we're in chapter 90, numbers 8 and 9. So he says, Asur la'avor chutz levet hakneset. It is forbidden to pass outside of the shul, but sad she'apetach patuach bo, on the side that the entrance is open in it, at the time that the community are praying. So whilst everyone's busy praying, you can't go walking through the open door. Because it seems kekofer, like a denier. In other words, a non-believer. Since he's not going in to pray. So everyone else is sitting there davening and you're just sauntering past. Hold on a second, dude, don't you also have to daven to Hashem? So it looks really bad when you don't go in. But if he is carrying a masui, something that is carried, a load, if he's carrying a load, or shelavush tefillin, or that he is wearing tefillin, or sheyesh beit hakneset acher, or there is another shul be'ir in the city, or sheyesh lebeit hakneset zeh petach acher, or that there is to this shul another entrance, or sherochev ala behema, or he is riding on an animal, mutar, it is permissible in all of those cases. Because in all of these cases, we're not going to think you're not coming into daven because you don't care. We'll either, there's an option that you are coming into daven, or we'll say, yes, you aren't coming in, but because you're caught up in all of these other activities and engagements. Continue number 9. Yishtadel Adam, a person should try, litpalel beveit hakneset im hatzibur, to pray in a shul with the community. We'll see those are two separate requirements, and we should make an effort to meet both of them. Ve'imhu anus, and if he is forced, that he is not able to come to the shul, yechavein, he should focus to pray, should focus to pray at the time, maybe yechavein is a better word, is he should align it. Should align it to pray at the time that the community is praying. So even if you're not going to be at shul, you should pray at the same time that they do. There are more ads. V'hu adin, the same law. B'nei adam hadarim b'yeshuvim. People who live in yeshuvim would be like a village. V'ein lehem minyan, and they do not have a minyan. Mikol makom, nevertheless, yitpalelu, they should pray shacharit va'arvit, shacharit and ma'ariv, bizman shatzibur mitpalelim, at the time that the community is praying. V'chein im ne'enas v'lo yitpalel b'shah she'yitpalelu hatzibur. And so too, if he was forced and he did not pray at the time that the community prays, v'u mitpalel b'yachid, and he is praying alone, Afal PK, nevertheless, yitpalel beveit hakneset, he should pray in the shul. Alright, Mishna Brura, but sad she'apetach ein bevir agro, take a look at the Vulgagan where he said, here the ideas again, as we saw, that if the problem is people seeing you, so walking past the door where people could see out. She'atzibur mitpalelim, at the time that the community is praying, ein befrim magadim, Pri Magadim says, sheyesh lahachmir, we should go strict, afilu ba'et kriyat shma, even at the time of Shema, or Psukei de Zimra and Psukei de Zimra. So in other words, it's not only the Amidah. Normally Tefillah means the Amidah. So even if they're not in the middle of the Amidah, but they're doing other prayers, it shouldn't just be that you're sauntering past the shul and everyone can see that you're walking past and not coming in. Or Shalavush, if you're wearing Tefillin, the nearer it looks, She'ol Malchuto Alav, that the yoke of his kingship, capital H, that the kingship of Hashem is on him. In other words, we can see there's not a guy who just doesn't care about Hashem. He's walking around with tefillin. And they will not come to suspect him. Or sheyesh beit hakneset, what if there's another shul in the city? Then that's fine. Nearly, it seems, because they'll think that he's going to the other shul. They won't think he's not going to shul at all. Nearly, it seems to me. It's the same law if they are accustomed in this shul to make several minyanim, gam kain shari, also it is permissible. They will not come to suspect him. Or shirochev, or he's riding on an animal. Shinikar, it is recognizable. Shemipnei, that because Shehu Tarud B'Shmirat HaBehema, that he is caught up in guarding the animal, Eino Nichnas, he is not entering. In other words, the guy's riding his horse, so what's he going to do? Just leave the horse to run around in the street while he comes in for Shacharit? I mean, clearly there's a justifiable reason why he's not coming in. A person should make an effort to pray in the shul. Even if he has 10 in his home, Yishtadel, he should try to pray in shul, and he gives a reference to look up. Im ha-tzibur, with the community, because the Holy One, blessed be He, does not, mo'es literally mean is disgusted by. Hashem is not disgusted by the prayer of a community. In other words, even though it may be that Hashem is disgusted by the prayer of an individual, prayer of a community will not disgust Him. Now you'll say to me, that's awfully strong language. I'll say to you, it's absolutely right. It certainly is strong language. It would normally be translated, I think, is that, that Hashem does not reject the prayer of a community. Hashem may reject the prayer of an individual. So I think he used the word disgust because, in fact, we find in our commentaries that there is a concept even of Hashem being disgusted by prayer. It says, somebody turns away from listening to Torah, his prayer is an abomination. That there's sometimes that a person is clearly in the wrong space or praying for the wrong thing or something like that. That it's not just a case of Hashem saying, I'm not taking that prayer, but it's actually prayer can be, God forbid, something that Hashem really doesn't like. We find at the beginning of the book of Yeshayahu where he speaks about being disgusted by sacrifices brought by people who have no care or concern for social justice or the well-being of others. So I think that's the idea here as well. Even if you have these kinds of negative factors, still when you come together in a community, Hashem will not be disgusted by that prayer. Communal prayer always finds favor in Hashem's eyes. Even if there were amongst them sinners, lo yimana, should not refrain milit palel mahem, from praying with them. Don't say, it's much better if I pray by myself, I'm righteous, they're not so righteous. No, pray with all of them. If there are two shuls, ve'echad yesh bo barav am, and one has in it the majority, or a lot of people, rav am. Mitzvah litpalel bo yoter. It is a mitzvah to pray in it more. The idea is barov am hadrat melech. When there's a lot of people, that gives greater honor to Hashem. So there's a minyan of 100 and there's a minyan of 10. Rather go to the minyan of 100. Katva achronim, the later authorities wrote, that if there is in the shul of a lot of people, rov bilbul, a lot of I'm going to call this confusion, but what it means basically means that there's talking, right? There's a lot of talking and stuff going on in that shul. And a person does not hear prayer, in other words, the repetition of the Amidah, and not the reading of the Torah. Mutav, it is better to pray in his house with 10. In other words, if you can't actually have a proper prayer service in shul, then rather pray at home. And a shul alone, or home with the minyan, Tfilat tzibur adif, prayer with the community, is preferable. So, there we go. And even if you are able to hear Kaddish and Baruch Hu, in other words, you'll walk in when the other minyan's walking out, you'll walk out and they're walking in. You're not going to do the Amidah together with them, but you'll be there for Kaddish and Baruch Hu. Or you could have the Amidah with a minyan at home. Afilu haki, nevertheless, Tfilat tzibur adif, it is preferable to pray with the community. The ikar, and the main thing, Tfilat b'tzibur, of davening with the community, hu Tfilat shmona esrei, is the Amidah. Dahainu, this is Sheyit palelu asara anashim shem gedolim beyachad, that 10 people who are gedolim, adults, should pray beyachad, together. That's the idea, is that you have 10 people saying the Amidah together. That's the essence of a minyan. V'lo k'mo shechoshvin he hamon, and not like they think. Hamon, general populace. Not like the general populace thinks. Sheha Ikar, that the main thing, Litpalel Ba'asar, davening in a minyan, who rakli shmoa Kaddish Kedusha Baruch Hu, is just to listen to Kaddish Kedusha and Baruch Hu. Velachain, and therefore, Ein Makpidin, they are not particular or strict. They don't take great concern. Rakshu Asara V'Veit HaKnesset, just that there should be 10 in the shul. V'zeu Ta'ut, and this is a mistake. So it's not that they try to make sure that he's davening with the community, just that there should be a minyan. No, it's not true. V'lachain, therefore, chov al ha'adam, it is an obligation on a person, lemaher, to hurry, lavo leveit hakneset, to come to shul, kadeshi agilit palel, in order that he will arrive to pray the Shemona Esrei Betzibur. Mi sholech b'Shabbat v'Yom Tov behashkama. Someone who goes on Shabbat and Yom Tov b'hashkama early. Lit palel b'minyan asara, to pray with a minyan of 10. In other words, in somebody's home. Ki rov hatzibur me'achrim tfilatam, because the majority of the community delay their prayer. Uva oto minyan mitpalelim gam tfilat musaf, and in that minyan they pray also the prayer of musaf. Techef achar tfilat shacharit, immediately after the prayer of shacharit. V'yesh zman achar kach lelech levet HaKnesset, and there's a time afterwards to go to shul. Yoter tov, it is better lelech litpalel musaf im hatzibur, to go and pray musaf together with the community beveit HaKnesset in the shul. The rov am hajat melech, with the greatness of a lot of people, it is a glory to the king. Kain katvu b'tshuvat Yad Eliyahu, and that's what it wrote in the tshuva of Yad Eliyahu. V'davka, and davka im makom miyuchad, if the place is designated litfilato, for his prayer beveit HaKnesset in the shul, he usually goes to shul. But if he does not have a designated space to pray in a shul, in other words, normally he's davening in a different, he's not normally davening in a shul, normally he's davening his minyan at home or whatever, tov yoter, it is better, that he should pray the entire prayer in one place. Katav b'tshuvat Rad Baz. This is a very famous idea in the tshuva of the Rad Baz. The Rad Baz wrote, Tafus, somebody who has been caught, somebody who is imprisoned. I'm just going to put you a prisoner. Right, a prisoner. Shehasar, that the nobleman. Natan lo reshut, gave him permission. Yom echad litpalel im hatzibur b'minyan. One day, to pray with the community in a minyan. Eze yom shirtze, whichever day he wants. So which day should it be? We all assume Yom Kippur. No. Yitpalel oto yom. You should pray that day. Techef. Immediately. Velo yachamitz ha-mitzvah. And you should not delay. Literally make it chametz. Should not delay the mitzvah. Lahamtin. To wait. Al Yom Kippur or Purim. For Yom Kippur or Purim. V'ayin b'chai Adam. Okay, take a look at the Chai Adam. They're going into many details of this. But there's a fundamental, very important one. Anus, somebody who is unable, is forced not to pray in the minyan. Hainu, or in shul. This means shetash kocho. His strength is weakened. The man is feeling weakened today. Av she'einu chole, even though he's not sick. V'mu'ones mamon, and if he is forced by money, what does that mean? That money is forcing him. Shemechamat hishtadluto, because of his effort. Lead palel imatzibur, to pray with the community. Yavoli, they have said, he will come to loss. His bosses expect him at work at a certain time. You can daven shacharit and make it there, but not in a minyan. Yachol lead palel beveit or biyachid, or beveit hakneset b'lo tzibur. He can pray at his home individually, or in the shul without a community. Aval mishum mniat revach, but in order to refrain, because of refraining from profit, in other words, really my boss is not going to fire me if I don't come. But if I do come, I can make some extra sales. So because of the refraining of profit, lo yimanami litpalel matzibur, you should not refrain from davening with the community. Techiluk yesh, there is a difference between withholding profit and between losing from your pocket. So you're actually going to be out of pocket, that's a reason not to daven in the minyan. If you're just not going to be earning more money, that's not a good reason. And that's what the Shav Yaakov wrote to Eidel Gaon, Marinam Rav Zalman Mirlash of Beit Din, the Kilo Kodesh Hamburg. And he wrote about the Rosh Beit Din of Hamburg. Shepam achat halach lebeit hakneset mutaf betalit. One time he went to the shul, wrapped in his talit, utfilin and his tefillin, kedarko, like his way. In other words, as per usual. Ufaga bo adam echad, and he met a certain person, shialo limkor avanim tovot, who wanted to sell precious stones. V'ratza shielech imo lebeito, and he wanted to go with him to his house. V'hagaon heishiv lo, and the great rabbi. Gaon literally means genius, but it means a great rabbi. And the great rabbi replied to him, Sheyamtin, he should wait, until he comes from shul. Uvetochkach, in the meantime, macharan le'acher, he sold them to someone else. V'acher, and the someone else, yirviach behem kama alafim, profited with this many thousands of the currency. V'samach hagaon simcha gedolah, and this great rabbi rejoiced with a great simcha, shehishlich mineged mamon rav avur tfilat tzibur, that he threw away from himself a great deal of money in order to pray in a minyan. V'chein katav b'sefer Eliyahu Rabbah b'shem Shuvah Beit Yosef, and that's what the Eliyahu Rabbah wrote in the name of the Beit Yosef. D'yesh liknos hanashim shemonin leilech lebeit hakneset, that you should fine. Knas is a fine. People who refrain from going to shul because she'oskim b'Torah, they are engaged in Torah. I want to learn in a shir, then I don't want to done with the community. Or mishum shemishtakrin mammon, or because mistakrin mammon, they are profiting with money. Ve'la'ashirim yesh liknos yoter, and to the wealthy, you should fine them more. So a community tax should be imposed upon those who aren't coming to the minyan. And the wealthy more, uval Torah, af she'osek belimud, and a master of Torah, even though he's engaged in learning, mikol makom, nevertheless, ika chashada, there is suspicion, v'chilul Hashem, and a desecration of Hashem's name. Because, so somebody's going to say, yes, he's really learning. And somebody else is going to say, he has to be the rabbi, you don't have to come to shul. You should align to pray at the time the community are praying. Davke if it is a bother for him, the matter, to gather 10. Mashmer implies Be'en Yaakov and Ein Yaakov. That if he is praying Musaf at the time that the community is praying Shacharit, lo mikri b'shashet tzibur mitpalelim. This is not called at the time that the community are praying. It's not. It doesn't count as praying together with the community. V'mitpalel imahem b'veit hakneset. But if I'm praying with them in the shul, I'm praying Musaf while they're praying Shacharit the other way around. Mikri, that is called tefillah b'tzibur, davening in a community. Yitpalelu shacharit, so then I should pray shacharit. Uvimot hakayit shacharit at the time of the community, even if I'm living in a farm. And in the days of kayit summer, shehatzibur me'achrin tefillat shacharit, that the community delay their shacharit prayer because sunrise is like 4 o'clock and they're only davening at 6. Ve'adar be'yeshuv, and the one who lives on the village, Asura filu lilmod, he's forbidden even to learn. As we wrote in 89:6, Shema yimshok b'limudo, perhaps he will be drawn out in his learning. V'yavor zman tefillah, and the time for learning will pass. The time for davening will pass. V'im kein yipatlu zman orach, and if so, he will sit idle for a long time. Lachain, therefore, Mutav, it is better, sheyit palel, that he should pray, techef, immediately, ba'nei tzachama, when the sun rises, umikol shekain kayom, and how much more so today, devekihilot gedolot, kol shekain, how much more so, that in kilot gedolot, in the big communities, mitpalin techef mishir aboker. There are minyanim who pray immediately when the day lights up. V'im kain, if so, lo'olam hu b'shah shetzum palalim. If so, he's always meeting a time that the community is davening. So if you're able to do it at the time, as man shetzum paris, this means b'shah she'akihilot Yisrael mitpalalim, at the time that the Jewish communities are praying. Uva Ashkenaz, and in Germany, shenagu lahakdim arvit, that they have the custom of doing Ma'ariv early. As we'll see in chapter 235, Yachid Adar Bekfar, an individual who lives in a village, or B'derech, or somebody who's traveling the road, Tzarich Lamtin Ad Tzeit HaKochavim, and needs to wait until the coming out rather, of the stars. Nevertheless, Mibnei she'einu makom kavua lekedusha utfilah, because that is a place that is fixed for holiness, and his prayer mitkabelet sham beyoter, is accepted there better, more. So the idea of having a fixed place for davening. Ufashut, it is obvious. De'im hu talmid chacham, that if he is a Torah scholar, v'yesh chashash chilul Hashem, and there is a concern, a worry of chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name, kashi yavo achar tefillah b'veit knesset, when he will come after the prayer into the shul, the yitpalel b'veito, that he should pray in his home. So this is saying, even if you can't pray with a minyan, you should still pray at home. But what if you are unable to pray with a minyan, and then you'll come to shul, and people will all say, yeah, this Talmid Chacham, he doesn't come to the minyan or whatever else, so then it would be better just to pray at home. That's it for today.